If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to another episode of the Career Mode Road to Glory. It's episode number 144, and the board, rather surprisingly to me, after giving us an extra 3 million in the summer transfer window, have come up trumps and given us another 3.5 in this window. So quite understandably, I'm going to be accepting that offer. So that's an extra 7 million that they've given us this season, and I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting them to accept that, or even anywhere, if they were going to accept it, to give me anywhere near the 4 million or 5 million that I asked for. But they give me 3.5, and that will really come in handy when it comes to potentially bringing in players on pre-contracts for next season. As you can see, we can now offer up to £178,000 a week, whereas previously we only had a maximum of just over £100,000 a week to offer. So we could potentially be seeing a couple of very good players come into the club for next season, or I'll go and buy someone for this particular window. Trying to bring back KWESI. Fabian Cassidy's unhappy. He wants to leave. The board have told me to sell him. So why not try and bring the King back to this particular series? I'm going to try and work out a deal with Nancy to try and bring KWESI Appiah back to Cambridge United for our Barclays Premier League third season. Obviously this is season number 6 for the series as a whole, and we're about halfway through. 19 games played so far this season. We sit slap bang in mid-table, playing Arsenal in this first game. Obviously they've had a tendency to actually play really well against me. They knocked us out of the cup in the semi-final stage last year. We stereotypically don't tend to do too well against them in the league, although we have had a couple of games in the past 3 seasons where we've given them definitely a lot to think about. They aren't starting though Romelu Lukaku, who tends to be the guy that always scores against me for Arsenal, so I'm pleased to see Olivier Giroud and Danny Welbeck in the starting lineup for them, which gave me a little bit of confidence actually heading into this one, thinking, well, so long as Lukaku's not on the pitch, we stand a chance against Everton. Mathieu Debussy though playing in Olivier Giroud here, as you can see, they're on the front foot immediately. Danny Welbeck drawing a good save out of Hutchinson, but he was comfortably able to keep that out. Then Takelo Ranti breaks through here, goes down in the box. Surely that's a penalty and a red card as well for Oliveira. You can see the referee coming over here, no hesitation in his mind. Red card immediately comes out of his back pocket, and Armindo R. Oliveira is sent off after 18 minutes. But it wasn't given as a penalty. Contact definitely looked like it was in the box, but he gave it as a free kick a yard outside of the box, and I wasn't able to get myself a 1-0 lead. Unfortunately, Johannes Geis missed the free kick. But against 10 men for Arsenal, we probably should be doing quite well. And a decent finish from Aguilar. I think it's Carlos Aguilar. I'm not too sure what his first name is, actually. He's growing quite nicely, though, as a youngster, and a really good volley there. I'm not really too sure what the goalkeeper was doing. Chesney should have done better. But regardless of whether Arsenal have got 10 men, they're still going to play the ball around really nicely, and to be fair, they could have 8 men on the pitch and still pass the ball around you. They continued to play well in this game, despite being a man down defensively. When it came to coming forward, they threw men forward, threw caution to the wind, and their passing was exemplary, as you might expect from an Arsenal side. Danny Welbeck flicks it on. Alexis Sanchez can't find the way past Hutchinson, though, in that first half, but they continued to be on top in the second half here, as you can see, keeping the ball away from me. Santi Cazorla's dribbling abilities just second to none, really good on the ball. Aaron Ramsey turns inside the defender here. Gibbs stands the ball up, and Danny Welbeck with the header to make it 1-1 in the 51st minute. They have managed to pull themselves back level despite being a man down, Arsenal. So they continue to come forward, actually, as you can see, leaving some space in behind for me to try and exploit. Takelo Ranti gets in behind Kieran Gibbs here, rushing back to get him, though. Good tackle. I couldn't get the shot away before I got to the goalkeeper, though, after Kieran Gibbs had been tugging at my shirt. It did go underneath the goalkeeper, but Takelo Ranti fell over, and the defender was on hand, Per Mertesacker, I think it was, to clear the ball. But we're back in the box again. Ranti with another shot, well saved. Still can't get ourselves a goal to go back in front, though, despite trying so very hard to get that goal. Johannes Geis pushing forward here. We're going to try and feed it through to Georgiev. Doesn't quite work. Get it to him the second time around, though. Nice turn around the defenders to square the ball back to Takelo Ranti again, looking for the bottom corner, but this time Szczesny with a good save, holding on to it as well to make sure that we get a 1-1 draw at home against Arsenal. Really good result for Arsenal. Disappointed for us to not get a win in that one against 10 men, but if there was ever a side that had 10 men that were going to cause you problems still, it would probably be Arsenal. So not can't be too disappointed because Arsenal were obviously an extremely good side and definitely better than us. But against 10 men, I would have wanted a victory there. We are looking to sell on Lucio Manuel Cardoso, though, so hopefully Nottingham Forest will be able to work out a contract deal with him for £475,000 in the transfer fee. But before we get that deal confirmed, as you can see, a second game in the Barclays Premier League today. Newcastle United away from home this time. Another side that have a tendency to be quite difficult to play against for us, but we are having very similar seasons. Same goal difference and only 1 point between us in the middle of the table. So I wasn't too sure whether we could keep up our current level of performance and get a draw, judging by how many draws we've gotten so far this season. But a draw away from home against Newcastle United isn't that bad a result, especially when Tim Krul continues to thwart me in this series and makes incredible save after incredible save. Hoping to get the better of him here today. Cassada and Georgiev starting up top. Bit of a rotation side, considering obviously it's midweek after the game against Arsenal at the weekend, unfortunately, so people are still very, very tired. But straight from the off, we steal it off Jack Colback. Georgiev racing around the outside of the defenders, but the angle wasn't quite right to find the ball past Tim Krul. Then up the other end, there you go, literally 2 minutes later, still inside the 4th minute, up goes the ball. Brownie Day with an incredible header. 3 minutes 58 on the clock, and we're 1-0 down after barely any time has gone whatsoever. I thought we were going to have a good game after the way that we attacked them immediately from the off. In actual fact, we're on the back foot straight after that, and then trying to get ourselves back in the game, similar to how Arsenal did. Couldn't help but have a shot from distance there. The way the defender backed off was just begging to be hit, and unfortunately Adarabioyo wasn't able to get a decent shot on target and on goal, and we stay 1-0 down. Remy Kabbalah, though, goes on a lovely run here. Not really too sure why I wasn't closing him down that much initially. Lovely step over to turn inside, though. Anita, I think actually the slip there helped him get that into the top corner. If he hadn't slipped, I think he might have shot that wide, but he fell over and cut across the ball more so than he was going to, and in actual fact that meant that it snuck into the top corner. So we find ourselves 2-0 down as we head into first half stoppage time here. Adarabioyo again denied by Tim Krul, though good save by the Dutchman. We will try and get a goal back though from this corner. Jack Grealish to stand the ball up. John Stones goes up with a header, but another brilliant reaction save from Tim Krul keeps us out. So into the second half we go, trying to get ourselves one back. We're in the 80th minute though. Newcastle defended resoundingly for the majority of this second half. Adarabioyo finds Georgiev here, lays it back to Toko. Bit of space, couldn't really pass it back to Georgiev because he just run offside. But we do work it back and eventually get it back to Vadillo here after chasing the ball back down. Good cross. Toko again with a header, but this time it goes wide. And unfortunately a 2-0 defeat is what we get from St James's Park. So a 1-0 draw against Arsenal and a 2-0 defeat against Newcastle. We're definitely having a season where we're struggling this year. We've had 2 fantastic seasons so far in the Barclays Premier League, finishing 10th and 5th and then in Europe, and we are having the rather realistic dodgy season when trying to compete in all competitions with the Europa League action as well. It is very realistic for us to be having this off-season at this particular stage. It's just quite frustrating to be in the middle of it. But hopefully, with all the money that we've raised so far this window, we will really be able to strengthen for next season and bring in some really strong 80+ rated players for the beginning of season number 7. Hopefully, we can stay up this year. I think we'll quite comfortably stay up, but we'll probably finish around about where we are right now in the table, which is about 10th or 11th, and obviously I'll show you the league table at the end of this squad report. But if there is anyone you want to have a closer look at in the squad report, then obviously feel free to pause the video at any particular point. Nicholas Spaller is unhappy and he reckons he's too big for the club. He's too big for this team according to his morale, so he wants to leave. But he's 82 rated and he's 20 years of age and he's going to get much, much higher. I don't want to let him leave. We're going to continue to play him week in, week out, and hopefully we can turn that morale around. He does have 2.5 years left on his contract, so he can't leave on a free anytime soon. The only way he'd be able to get a move is if he forced the board into making a decision for them. But last time the board said that, or last time he approached the board and asked to move, the board said to me, "We trust your decision with whatever you want to do with the player." I decided to keep him, and he has continued to grow. So the board trusted me last time. Hopefully, if a similar situation arises again, they'll trust me a second time to do what's right for the club and keep Nicholas Spaller here, as he's one of our best players. Unfortunately, Callum Wilson's still out for another 4 months, considering he's got an ACL tear, but we should be able to bring in KWESI, as you saw earlier on. We're trying to work out a contract deal with him to bring him in from AS Nancy back to Cambridge United, and Fabian Cassada will be leaving us. So still perhaps looking for another striker on loan or to purchase in this window, but also looking for some really big pre-contract players for next season as well that could drastically help improve this squad. So 12th place is where we are right now. 5 wins, 9 draws, 7 defeats, plus 2 goal difference. Manchester City weirdly sit above us in 11th, having a very poor season themselves. So at least we're not the only side that's particularly poor this season after having some good seasons prior to this. But we will continue to push on, and hopefully in the next episode or two we'll be able to really improve the squad, or at least pre-contract improve the squad for next season. But that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, of course. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Chelsea career mode episode that went up earlier on this afternoon. And of course, I'll be streaming tonight over on Twitch, so follow the link in the description to my Twitch and to my Twitter to follow me on both of those platforms. And for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.